of the men, women, and children of the Malcolm X Grassroots movement and the New African People's Organization, I say to you, free the land! Free the land! Free the land! Free the land! By any means necessary. Why do we say free the land? We say free the land because our ancestors fought on this land. They died on this land. In fact, our ancestors built this land up for hundreds of years. In the early 20th century, newspapers, the media of the day, were rampant with stories of criminal Negroes, thuggish Negroes, Negroes who were raping white women, Negroes who were selling drugs, Negroes who were killing each other with razors. And as a result of those newspapers' reports, white people all over the South thought that it was all right to lynch a Negro every day. Every day a Negro got lynched. And even as black people cried out to the federal government to do something to stop the lynchings, Washington did nothing. When black people built up their own communities in Tulsa, Oklahoma, not only did the white racist Klan attack the black community of Tulsa, Oklahoma, the U.S. Army came out and dropped bombs on the black community in Tulsa, Oklahoma. All a part of what we know is genocide. Everybody say it. It's genocide. It's genocide. The killing or hurting in whole or in part of people by another government. That happened every day 100 years ago. And today, because the media criminalizes you, black brothers and sisters, it makes you look like thugs. It calls you thugs. It calls you beast. And then it has the nerve to go out and allow a cop, a security guard, somebody who claims they're in a community watch organization to shoot you at will. And the U.S. government supports it. They might act like they're doing something to help you, but they're supporting it. That's genocide. 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 You can't depend on the Attorney General or the police or the federal Attorney General or the president, who, if y'all ain't got it by now, is not your president. You cannot depend on them to do something to stop the genocide. Only when we as a people are willing to do as my young brother said here, link our hands across the world with our brothers and sisters in Palestine. Link our hands across the world with our brothers and sisters down in Mexico where their government don't care about them either. Link our hands across the world with our brothers and sisters in Brazil. And then call on the world, call on the United Nations to charge the American government with genocide. When we're willing to do that, when we align ourselves with the internationally oppressed people around the world, when we're willing to say it's no longer about civil rights, those days are over. It's been done. It ain't about civil rights no more, because you got every law that's on the book and you're still not treated like a human being. So now we know this is a struggle for what? It's a struggle for human rights. It's a struggle for self-determination, and it's a struggle against genocide. When you're willing to understand the nature of our struggle, and you decide that we as a people sided with our brothers and sisters around the world, sided with white people of goodwill who understand the white privilege that comes in a genocidal society, when we all link arms and make ourselves ungovernable, when you refuse to cooperate anymore, when you refuse to let their money run as smoothly as it always ran, when you refuse to let their businesses run the way they always ran. We've done it for 100 days. Mobile, Alabama, the bus boycott went on for 364 days. I think we can do it for a year. I think we can make it uncomfortable for a year. I think we can stop the smooth running of society for a year. And then we say, when you're ready to admit that you have committed genocide against our people, when you have violated our human rights, when the United Nations charges you with genocide and with human rights violations against our people, now let's sit down and talk about reparations. Let's sit down and talk about some payback. Let's pay back Michael Brown's family for what you've done to them. Let's pay back the countless brothers and sisters. 26 brothers and sisters die all the time. Every 28 hours, a black man, woman, or child is murdered by a cop, a rent-a-cop, or some extra agent of the U.S. government. And all they do is sit and talk about they investigating it. The Attorney General says he's investigating it. They've been investigating Trayvon Martin for over a year now, and ain't nobody did nothing. Ain't nobody gonna do anything until we make ourselves ungovernable, till we make it uncomfortable, till we say the people in the streets have the power. We want to say here, yes, we absolutely believe in nonviolent resistance. But we're not going to apologize for our brothers and sisters last night who had enough. We're not going to apologize for our brothers and sisters who have been under the thumb of racist, murderous police in Ferguson. We don't have to apologize for them. All we got to do is build a movement that they can join, so then they don't have to act out wildly. They have an organized people to side with. Let's build a movement. Let's build a movement for black power. Let's build a movement for people's power. Let's build a movement that's international and links hand with all oppressed people all around the world. And you're going to see the change that my young brother talked about. So once again, on behalf of the Malcolm X Grassroots Movement, the New African People's Organization, we're with you, we know you're with us, and we say free the land, free the land, free the land, free the land, by any means necessary.